Aciracetam induces focus by calming the brain down. Teocrine induces wakefulness by speeding the brain up. What's up, everybody? And this is the Thunder Channel on nootropics, on testosterone, and on male performance, and a host of other things. Please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to get notified of all future content, hit the like button to allow us to proliferate through the algorithm. You want access to nootropics guides, books, downloadable books that teach you how to use nootropics and give you many stacks, go to livecortex.com. We just ran out of Cortex, by the way. I'll explain that later. But the Torque stack is still in stock and there's a discount on it right now. It is coupon code 25Torque, and that'll take 25% off of the Torque stack right now. All right, so what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to read stacks from Stacklist. Stacklist is a compilation of some of the best nootropic stacks that I've seen hit both well in myself as well as clients over the years. I put them all in one digital book. You can get it at livecortex.com, but I'm going to read you some. I'm going to give you my favorite stacks from this guide. All right, so I'll bring you into Stacklist. It's basically no frills, no BS kind of guide. There's a quick intro and then we get right into nootropic stacks. So I'm going to bring you right to stack number 1, which ends up being stack number 5 of the oxiracetam stack. So this is like a heavy hitting, very, very powerful cholinergic stack that offers a lot of great benefits, which I'll explain because every stack comes with an actual description. And it brings in a compound that we haven't really talked about, at least for many years on this channel, called Uniferam. This is the stack. It's 1,000 milligrams oxiracetam, 3 milligrams of Uniferam, a B complex, so just taking a B complex with it, 500 milligrams acetyl L-carnitine, 100 milligrams L-theanine, 300 milligrams choline bitartrate. Okay, that is the stack. You want to copy that down or whatever, take a screenshot. There it is. This is a description. The stack focuses on both working memory with Uniferam and lots of mental energy via oxiracetam and Alcar. As an aside, oxiracetam and Alcar synergize extremely well together. Taking them both with a low dose choline source is usually going to get you good brain performance. It uses a strategy of balancing out a bit of the stimulation with a calming focus inducing nootropic compound called L-theanine. Now let's step back for a second, all right? Oxiracetam gives you more choline to work with, right? Enhances cholinergic signaling, hippocampal cholinergic signaling. So that just is going to equal better verbal fluency, better reference memory, better general memory, better working memory. Now, Uniferam is another cholinergic compound, but it's very subtle, okay? But that's not bad. It's kind of a good thing, right? It induces a state of mildly better brain functioning that when you're actually sitting down and doing processing work, or you're sitting in front of your laptop or doing, like some sort of report at the end of the day, whatever you end up doing that requires good brain performance, where if you don't have good brain performance, you kind of don't want to do it, or you're not good at, executing certain tasks, your brain just isn't working. Uniferam usually covers all bases on the functional brain capacity front. But again, not very stimulating, just makes your brain work better. B complex, kind of self-explanatory, but that balances out, especially choline, acetylcholine in this particular case. It'll help you make more acetylcholine. 500 milligrams Alcar, that is always a good choice in most stacks. And it's honestly a good dose if you're stacking it with other things that are giving you energy and making you function well as well. Enhancing fat transport to mitochondria of the brain to give you energy and general brain cell functionality. Then you got 100 milligrams of theanine. This is a classic stimulant balancer stack, right? You've got the stimulant nature of all the excitatory neurotransmission that's happening with oxiracetam and Uniferam and the B complex and Alcar. But then theanine is kind of just adding a little bit of that focus and flow, right? That's what it does. All right, so I'm going to take you to the second stack here, which is a very, very powerful stack. And it is the following. It's right here under the uridine section. And it is 100 milligrams uridine, 100 milligrams phenylpiracetam, 200 milligrams alpha GPC, 40 milligrams theobromine, a B complex, and 400 milligrams of Alcar. I'll explain why it's all put together that way in a second. We read the description. This is a mental energy and motivation powerhouse. It is primarily used to turn on the drive to work and be productive, but also supply the brain with enough energy to do so. Verbal fluency will also improve on this stack. Okay, what do we got going on here? Uridine monophosphate, right? Upregulates neurogenesis, helps dopamine receptor function. Phenylpiracetam, a dopamine reuptake inhibitor, very mildly, but still extremely powerful. Also a mild cholinergic, so you're getting that processing, computing power enhancement, as well as that dopamine energy kind of enhancement. 200 milligrams alpha GPC. Now, that's somewhat of a high dose for a lot of people, but considering the hefty use of choline, which phenylpiracetam is going to put into the picture, a good dose of a choline source in this instance is warranted. 40 milligrams theobromine, that's a methylxanthine, a stimulant. You don't want to dose it too high with an otherwise stimulatory stack. It's just enough to add that kind of energy along with the stack. And then 400 milligrams of alcohol. Again, fat transport, mitochondrial energy optimization in the brain, as well as a little bit of acetylcholine synthesis. So yeah, energy and motivation powerhouse. Now, these days, since phenylpiracetam itself is very hard to find, you can replicate the stack by using 50 or so milligrams of phenylpiracetam hydrazide. Next stack number 3 that I want to show you is certainly a curveball. It's a totally different stack, right? That induces a calm focus because it's dosed in an intelligent way relative to both energy and the GABAergic system. It is the following. It's 150 milligrams of theacrine or teacrine, 25 milligrams fasiracetam, 150 milligrams alpha GPC, and a B complex, okay? It goes, get ready for a stimulatory but calm focus stack with this one. Fasiracetam induces focus by calming the brain down. Teacrine induces wakefulness by speeding the brain up, but the combination of the two strikes a perfect balance of slow output and productivity. I think I meant to put flow there. Oh, I found a typo in my book. Flow, output, and productivity. Now, this is the predominant reason. You have a stimulant in teacrine. This is a very important but very basic concept, which we've talked about here very often on this channel. You got a stimulant and then you have a balancer, right? You have a high performance, excitatory neurotransmission kind of inducing nootropic, and then you have a tranquility-like nootropic. If you balance them the right way, you get focus and flow. That is exactly how you do focus and flow, okay? So that's stack number 3, very, very powerful stack. Take heed, take a screenshot, or whatever. All right, next stack number 4, I'm going to take us to a piracetam-centric stack. Now, there was a lot of discussion about piracetam, I think, on my last live stream, because it is the OG. It's the granddaddy racetam. It's like one of the oldest, most studied nootropics there is. And just because you have to take a lot of it to get, you know, the most powerful effect doesn't mean that it's not a great nootropic. It's actually one of the most predictable nootropics that you can take that'll give you good brain performance. So let me just read this stack. It goes 2 grams piracetam, okay, 40 milligrams modafinil, I will explain, and 100 milligrams CDP choline or citicholine. Look, this stack combines the stimulatory power of modafinil, a strong wakefulness promoting nootropic at low doses, with the power of a piracetam CDP choline stack. The addition of modafinil into the stack will allow the brain to remain focused on a particular task for long periods of time. This is a powerful work stack. Take the stack if you need to pump out a lot of brain work sustainably through a 5 to 12 hour period. Now, what is piracetam going to do? Enhance cholinergic function, enhance cerebral blood flow, enhance hemispheric communication. Now, this is a basic piracetam choline stack, right? You want to dose the choline right around 100 milligrams with 2 grams of piracetam. If you were to go up to 4 grams of piracetam, you probably want to take that choline up to like 150 or 175. If you add modafinil to a basic racetam stack, which is what this is, you get an entirely different effect. It's not just the cholinergic memory and processing and verbal fluency. Well, now you have background energy. Now you have cognitive endurance. Now you can execute work for long periods of time. Check the stack out, take a screenshot, write it down, or just go get stack list. This is in stack list. Right, 5th stack. This is kind of one of my favorite stacks. It's very simple, but also very stimulating, but balancing at the same time. Employs the strategy of the stimulant and the balancer. And it's this stack here. It goes 700 milligrams Alcar, 200 milligrams of Nalt. This is the acetylated version of tyrosine. It's a quicker onset, not necessarily more of a serum tyrosine concentration, but it will onset quicker and seem more potent. And then 100 milligrams of L-theanine. This stack is stimulatory and balancing, okay? It will give you a solid reservoir of brain energy with a good background of calm via the L-theanine. Again, same concept of a stimulant and a balancer, but this actually works out really well because you have Alcar in the mix at a higher dose than I usually suggest, which will give you some good solid brain energy. 200 milligrams of NALT is usually enough NALT for most people to get a good stimulant effect. And then you have just a little bit of something to take the edge off, right? A little bit of balancer so there's no overstimulation. And again, you're pairing the two together in a way which creates flow. All right, 6 stack, another complete curveball. I'm trying to give you guys different stacks that are doing different things to target different brain systems. Here it is right here. 10 milligrams fasiracetam, okay? A gram of piracetam, 100 milligrams centrophenoxine, and 100 milligrams of artichoke extract. I'll explain why it's put together like that in a second. It goes, this stack will pack a powerful focus punch with the addition of low-dose artichoke extract, great with cholinergics in this dose, and centrophenoxine, a focus-inducing, working memory-improving cholinergic anti-Alzheimer's compound, okay? Centrophenoxine is a very interesting chemical. It will retain a nice background calm via the fasiracetam dose. Okay, so you have the same concept of a good sort of stimulant, excitatory neurotransmission inducing set of agents, and then you have a balancer, a calming tranquility chemical in fasiracetam. Now, the interesting thing about this stack is we don't have a choline source in here. All we're doing with centrophenoxine is we're approaching the kind of choline dynamic or giving you more choline in the instance of using a racetam, because racetams usually speed up the usage of choline in sort of a different way. Centrophenoxine is a cholinergic, but it's not a precursor to brain acetylcholine. It takes choline from peripheral tissues, transports it across to the brain, and activates the cholinergic receptor. So you essentially get the same output, but without giving your brain more acetylcholine. Now, artichoke extract, this stuff upregulates CAMP, cyclic adenosine monophosphate. It's going to help you make more brain energy. And in combination with the rest of the stuff, it just makes for, a good solid stimulating stack that gives you way good processing power, but also kind of slows you down a little bit with a low dose of fasiracetam. Again, you got to strike the right balance with nootropics, and that's why this stack is put together like this. I figured I would end it on kind of a tranquility sleep stack. That's like, well, among other top questions, that's like one of the top or most requested kind of topics about sleep stacks that are put together well, that will help induce sleep and help you stay asleep. So I'm going to give you one because there's actually a whole set of tranquility nootropic stacks which double as sleep stacks in this guide. I'm going to start with number 2. I'm just going to give you this one here. It is 400 milligrams valerian root, 300 milligrams 5-HTP, 100 milligrams of hops. You ever heard of hops? I'll explain that in a second. 120 milligrams lemon balm, and 0.3 milligrams melatonin. This is a sleep-specific stack and should be used exclusively for inducing sleep. It's close to the first stack above, but brings in 5-HTP to produce more serotonin as well as melatonin at low doses. I'll explain that in a second. Most melatonin supplements include entirely too much melatonin, in my opinion. You do not make a whole lot of melatonin when you're going to sleep, so 0.3 milligrams is actually perfect. It is less than a milligram. Now, this is hard to get. On a 1 milligram melatonin tablet, it would be close to half, a little bit lower than a half of a tablet. Now, hops is a really interesting chemical for inducing sleep because it increases the activity of GABA in your brain. Very, very interesting, like singular standalone if you wanted to take it just to increase GABA concentrations or GABAergic signaling, and or take it with a stack that's also sleep-inducing GABAergic. Lemon balm inhibits an enzyme that breaks GABA down. So what you're effectively doing by taking lemon balm is you're inhibiting that enzyme and allowing the brain to accumulate more GABA than usual, okay? This is absolutely positively a great way to set up a brain environment for adequate sleep. Like literally sleep inducing. You probably have a great night's sleep. You're not going to wake up groggy. That's why everything's dosed moderately but intelligently. Again, as you see in the stack above, valerian root works on GABA A receptors, right? So you have that GABA A, which is one of the predominant receptors to bind to if you want that kind of inhibitory action on the rest of the neurotransmitters to allow you to kind of calm down. And it's like perfect for sleep induction. And my friends, so yeah, look, go get Stacklist if you're interested in the rest of these stacks. I mean, if you look at this, it's all stacks. Look at this. Endless stacks. And these are stacks that, again, that I had pulled from client data, all the online documents when I'm working with people and figuring out what stacks work. I pick the ones that end up working the best. That's what essentially this entire guide is based on, right? It's all the stacks that hit very well with myself as well as with people. That's why it's called a surgical list of the best nootropic stacks on the planet. Everything from stimulant stuff to modafinil-centered stacks, teaches you how to use piracetam, but also has tranquility and sleep stacks in it as well. Again, if you want to get stackless, you can do it at livecortex.com. I'll put the link like kind of front and center in the video description. All you do is add it to the cart, like literally. Do I have anything else in the cart here? I don't think so. Go check out and you're done. Just like fill out your information and, you know, pay for the guide. It's a digital download. You'll get it literally in under a minute. As I said in the beginning, the Torque Nootropic stack, which is, hey man, I mean, look, if you don't want to formulate your own stacks, you just get a predictable stack that works. That's what I built Torque for. Literally everyday stack, lots of mental energy, lots of stimulation, but also enhances brain power. Like you're going to get cholinergic benefits from it. You're going to get processing enhancement from it in addition to just that sort of powerful stimulant. I get freaked out when I'm running out of it. So like I actually just recently had the fulfillment center ship me another bottle so that I'm just not concerned about running out of Torque. Very, very powerful. And right now the stuff is on discount. Coupon code is 25Torque. 25Torque will literally take a quarter off of the price. I mean, if you want a nootropic stack that you can take 2 capsules and get in the zone within 10 to 15 minutes, just go buy the Torque stack. Again, links for all of our stuff is in the description of this video. Everything I'm affiliated with is in the description of this video. So much more content to come soon, guys. I hope that you appreciated all these stacks. Hope you're having a great day. What is today? Oh my God, it's Wednesday already. It's hump day. Let's go. See you next time.